Hi everyone, welcome to today's beauty webinar where I'll be discussing the 7 challenges facing beauty and cosmetic brands and how to solve them. A quick introduction about me. My name is Huria Dancy and I work at Fresh Relevance as the head of account management. My role is to ensure our clients are getting the most out of the platform, provide strategic guidance and help them succeed in their digital marketing goals. Today we're joined by a very special guest from Look Fabulous Forever. Janice, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. So, hi, I'm Janice. I'm the e-commerce and marketing director at Look Fabulous Forever. We're a direct-to-consumer e-commerce beauty brand for older women. And by older women, I don't mean what the rest of the beauty industry does, which is generally women over about 30. Our customers are predominantly in their 60s and 70s.
Amazing, thank you. So just a quick run through the agenda today. First of all, I'll be talking through the 7 challenges facing the beauty and cosmetic marketers in the industry. I'll then be joined by Janice on the stage for a panel discussion, diving into what's next within the beauty industry. And if you'd like to submit your questions throughout the session, please feel free to do so, and we'll be more than happy to answer them at the end of the actual session itself. Before we do kick off, just a quick bit of housekeeping. Please make sure you pop any questions you have into the questions tab on the right-hand side of the screen for us to answer at the end. If you're having any technical issues, please drop me a message and into the chat, and we'll do our best to help solve them. To start off then, to give you a quick introduction on who we are here at Fresh Relevance. Fresh Relevance is a versatile decision and personalization platform for e-commerce driven businesses. The platform gives you the power to maximize customer experience, conversion, and loyalty. It offers an incredibly wide range of personalization tools and integrates with all the elements of your existing tech stack. It also tests and automates decisions for you so that the right content is always put in the front of the customers in the right time. We're trusted by over 500 sites. We have over 500 sites using our platform all around the world. You can see a selection of some of the beauty and cosmetic brands that we work with here, and I'll be showing you some examples of these shortly. So let's kick off. The first thing that I wanted to talk to you about today is converting the first time visitor. On the whole, 2020 was an interesting year for beauty businesses, with many online businesses being able to capitalize on consumers needing to order their regular beauty products when the physical stores had shut down. And as an industry itself that prides itself on face-to-face interactions, from personalized consultations to in-store product sampling, the shift to digital experiences could signal growth challenges for beauty and skincare brands. A large chunk of these increased online traffic expected to stay even when we return to normality. And I guess if anything, we're going to start to really understand the new habits of shoppers that we've discovered online. So how can online brands ensure they make the most of increased traffic coming to their website? First of all, let's look at how you can focus on converting first-time visitors. The first example here that you should be thinking about is your data capture strategy. There are key elements that you really need to start considering. Timing, for example, the context of why you're presenting them with a popover, content within the actual popover that you're presenting, and then the most important part is testing. Ensure that you're testing the content, and this could be a matter of the timing, the position, the buttons within the actual content itself. These are all really important aspects of a data capture over when you are implementing it. Another example is to use gamification to collect data. You can step it up a notch by using gamification to collect customer data, like Glower have done here in this example. This example here is also incentivized and a great way to capture customers' attention. Dynamic delivery banners are also a great way to encourage a sale. Here you can see that the last delivery date can also help create a sense of urgency. Here again, I guess the use of advent-related activity is really important as well, and really harnessing that information to take your messaging one step further can go a really long way in capturing attention of that new user. Another key tactic for that early stage of the customer journey is trending product recommendations. I've often spoken about this sheep effect. People are drawn to what other people and see as a source of inspiration, you can take this a step further by considering social proof tactics too. So, for example, harnessing the wisdom of the crowd and showing popular items within that moment in time can really help encourage a first time purchase, because people have this fear of missing out. So FOMO kind of creeps in at this stage. We've recently released our sector benchmark report for 2021, and here are some really quick stats in terms of implementing personalization. So 12% of the audiences that included product recommendations found that it worked really effectively for them. And just again, looking at the benchmark report, we found that 19% actually saw a sales uplift once implementing personalization. This brings me to the next tactic. Thinking back to the impact of COVID-19, increased online shopping has also meant that competition has increased, and it's really important to take this into consideration when you are targeting your customers. With that in mind, what you can do is keep existing customers engaged. And what I'd like to do is just have a think about some of the tactics that can work really well when you are targeting these type of audiences. Like all good relationships, retaining your customers is a two-way street. They expect something in return. And what I like about this example through Space NK is that they have a loyalty scheme which shows their current points balance. Each product is worth to them. So again, it just really helps increase that loyalty towards the actual brand itself. Most of you already have, probably a basic cart abandonment campaign in place. But what can you do to make it more effective? I really like this example that Look Fabulous Forever have. The messaging, still thinking about it, just makes it a really conscious or even a subconscious purchase. But the other thing that really stands out for me here is the incentive when you spend over a certain amount. Again, another really lovely example of how you can increase that card expenditure by offering an incentive to go on and purchase. The second example here you can see is, I think it's Black Radiance, where they've offered some dynamic delivery messaging at the bottom there. So if you spend a certain amount, you qualify for free delivery. Again, a really effective way to increase the average order value when sending out these messages. Another example is the post-purchase email. You could include guides on how to use certain products, for example. You could recommend complementary products based on a purchase that's recently made, talk about how you can care for a specific product, or in this instance, invite them to review a product about their experiences like this example shows here. Now, I feel that it's a really nice example, but also, if anything, it just really enhances that full customer journey when speaking to your customers as you start to learn a little bit more about them. I mentioned discounts in the data capture stage. They're great. They're a great re-engagement tool. Coupons aren't just for acquiring new businesses. The right coupon can be a tool for building loyalty and increasing the value of existing shoppers. And here in this example, you can see that a discount has been offered on a browse abandonment item that someone has been looking at. Some quick snappy stats again. So, by implementing some of these campaigns, some of our customers have found a 4% uplift in sales. The average ID rate across our clients for cart abandonment is around 55%. So we really want to start to look to see what we can benchmark against. So I highly recommend that you do review what it currently looks like for you. Typically, we find that a lot of our customers sit around an average of around 35%. So yeah, it's something that I'd really recommend that you do look at as you are looking to implement or even enhance your existing triggered emails. The next thing I'd like to discuss is understanding or even acting upon visitor and buyer affinities. Why is this a challenge, I hear you say? It's common knowledge that each of your customers has specific brand preferences, and browsing and buying behavior and their experiences of your site should reflect that. Shoppers are often browsing with a clearer idea of what they're looking for, so offering irrelevant products just increases the risk of them leaving your site to shop elsewhere. Segmentation helps beauty retailers determine which products, price affinities, brands, and categories convert your customers the most. In addition to that, you can split test these different strategies to see what's working for your specific brands. So just to take you through some examples, in beauty in particular, brand affinity is a hugely important area. I'm not sure about yourselves, but I definitely have my go-to brands when it comes to my beauty regimes, for example. And if anything, what I find is I'm I'm actually, when I'm on different websites, I'm looking out for those brands in particular. But at the same time, when I'm presented with other brands, I'm quite open to looking at those. So it's really important that you have a highly curated mix when it comes to some of these things that you are implementing. And it also helps you with if anything, powering on the competition. So, for example, if my brand affinity is Elemis, one of the key things that I would potentially do is having a look at what other brands are within that specific mix and presenting those as an option. Typically, when a new visitor lands on a website, the retailer knows nothing about them. However, there's a wealth of information available that, when harnessed and analyzed in the right way, we can provide a well informed indication as to what price level is likely to lead a conversion for that individual. Our price affinity predictor helps solve the cold start problem when showing product recommendations based on the limited data points when a new visitor sends when entering a website. Using AI can be really effective. So what this allows you to do is, well, essentially what the system does is it makes an informed decision about the value of the product that should be presented to the new user when entering the website. It's quite an interesting use case actually, because a couple of our clients have actually tested it for existing um, users, and it's worked really effectively. Where, say, for example, within their email marketing or even on the website, where they've tested to see whether it works on different pages, such as the PLP pages or even the PDP pages, where the product landing page, sorry, the product detail pages, you present these different price points to see if that has a knock-on effect, as opposed to complementary items. And yeah, it's worked really effectively. So if anything, or as with anything, I highly recommend that you test a lot of these initiatives to see what works best for you as an actual brand itself. Moving on to the fourth tactic, um, and that is boosting product discovery. So facilitating product discovery and boosting average order value, despite the large catalog of products that we often find that beauty e-commerce retailers struggle with, and when it comes to maximizing the product discovery for customers. Again, just really thinking about harnessing that customer journey, really thinking about where customers are at specific moments in time, the products that they're looking at, their specific brand affinities, and bringing it all together to show them that right product at the right place at the right time. Recommending frequently bought products build excitement around shopping experiences and are particularly impactful in sectors driven by fast-moving trends such as fashion and beauty. For returning customers, the highlighted products can be tailored according to the shopper's preferred category. So if, say, for example, you have a returning customer, they've looked at certain items, you can present these at certain pages on the website to just remind them of the frequently purchased based on what they've currently been looking at. Again, a really effective tactic that can work really well with your customers. Another example here, so personalized product recommendations, such as you may also like, they typically rely on the familiarity principle and exposure effect. It makes sense to treat product variants or SKUs as first-class citizens in product recommendations. So again, another example here for example, the you may also like, you can see in the example we displayed a blusher. So you've got another blusher, sorry, you've got concealers, foundations, and a lipstick that really complement what that person's been looking at. So it really then again just helps enhance that customer journey and increases that product exposure when you are looking at or looking for a specific product. Another thing that I want you to think about is homepage banners. So thinking about how you can use dynamic banners throughout your site, but again, utilizing the brand or category affinity can be really effective. We've actually recently launched a rotating banner in the platform where customers are able to present their customers with multiple offerings on the homepage. And again, it's a really um, valuable tactic when customers are using, or in fact, when customers, or should I say, our clients are delivering content on the website, and wanting to present their customers with lots of up-to-date information. Um, yeah, so that can work really effectively too. Here you can see again, there's some additional levels of personalization. You've got a welcome offering here where in this instance, I believe it's Look Fabulous Forever, have offered a percentage off for new customers. And you can make them dynamic as well. So if you know that, say, for example, there's a returning customer that's come onto the website, switch it out for some other additional content and really think about how you can really enhance that customer experience based on the different types of customers that are coming to the actual website itself. Another example is countdown timers. So countdown timers are an effective tool to build excitement and urgency. Space NK's dynamic countdown timer draws shoppers' attention to the offer in this instance, and the content here where it says we don't want you to miss out just really adds value to that proposition. If anything, it will just really help to decrease customers from getting distracted and looking at other products, but and also increase, if anything, that sense of urgency to go on and make that purchase when they come onto the actual website itself. The next tactic that I want to discuss with you is building trust and community. This has never been more important for brands. With more people shopping online, you need to think about different ways to encourage your customers, and how you talk to them is really crucial. User-generated content serves to soothe any purchase anxiety, which is especially important when buying beauty products online, since shoppers want to see what others are saying about the quality and benefits. It also works really nicely during welcome journeys, for example. So when you're new to an actual brand itself, it's just really thinking about how you can get that person to go on and purchase. Is the best way to do it is just sharing what other people are saying about the products, or even about the brand itself. That can really help encourage that overall sale. I think I mentioned it previously, but ratings and reviews just really help build trust with new buyers and even existing buyers. They've become a lot more vital in terms of the shopping experience, particularly in a time when you can't physically go to a showroom, for example, and see products with your own eyes. Um, it definitely works when it comes to, I guess, in a way, validating that purchase. One of our clients has actually seen a 59% high increase in average order value just simply by including the little stars next to each product. And here you can, as I scroll down, you can see the example there. So yeah, highly recommend it. They've also included it within their browser abandonment emails, or if anything, like wherever you have the opportunity to personalize, we highly recommend that you include, if anything, the number of ratings um, that a product may have. You can, within the actual platform itself, filter. So if, say, for example, you don't want to include products that are say below the 3-star mark, you can exclude those. If you wanted to boost certain products that have better ratings, you can absolutely do that too. So you have full control over the ratings that you can include when setting up recommendations to enhance those customer experiences. Exclusive invites to in-store or online events. 15% of the people that we surveyed wanted exclusive invites to either in-store or online events, as well as complimentary services. Now, I'm sure you understand when it comes to consumers, you can never have enough. So this is a really great opportunity to get your customers to join up and almost create an online community, when taking your marketing to a whole new level. If you know, I guess, for example, what products each shopper is interested in, you can offer early access to similar product launches, for example, or even invitations to exclusive events based on the products to build that loyalty with your existing kind of customer base. Again, another really effective way of enhancing that customer experience and building loyalty amongst your customer base. The sixth tactic that I want to talk to you about is keeping your content in real time is really crucial. Whether it's encouraging a purchase or just avoiding telling someone that something is in stock when actually it isn't anymore. Ensuring that you're displaying the right things to people is more important now than ever before. I think, if anything, customers are becoming more demanding, and to meet that demand is really important as you target them with your products. The first example here that I want to show you is generating urgency through popularity messaging, and it's a great way to do this online. So if anything, here in this example, you can see that 17 people have bought this particular frame. It shows shoppers what's in demand, for example. The wisdom of the crowd is really important here to drive that purchasing decision. And also, again, it's that fear of missing out. The number of times when I'm online looking at a product and when multiple people are looking at a product, it kind of distracts me a little as well, to think, oh, maybe I'm missing out if I don't give this product a try. And then that's when I start looking at those reviews of those products to see what other people are saying about it. And if anything, from a customer experience or even just a user experience point of view, it really helps me make that final kind of decision. The next example here you can see is a countdown timer. Generating urgency is a huge technique for driving extra sales, whether it be a sale, whether it be an event, or whatever it is really. Just counting down to those final hours, those final minutes can really help increase that sense of urgency. What we've also tested with a couple of clients is looking at to see traffic on site. Do you find that with the inclusion of a countdown timer, it increases traffic because people know that it's coming to an end, and complementing email messaging can also help increase that as well, that sense of urgency. So with countdown timers, it's not restricted to the website itself. You can implement it throughout that customer journey. You can drop them wherever, whether it be your email marketing, your business as usual email newsletters, or whether it be on the website. There are different touch points that are really important to really enhance that overall customer experience. Price drop alerts serve to encourage price conscious shoppers as well. So here you can see in this example, someone's looked at this specific item, it's dropped in price. So you're sending a really timely reminder to those maybe slightly hesitant price tag conscious individuals. Another example is a back in stock trigger, which work in a very similar way. But if anything, ask in this example here, Multibrand asks shoppers to enter their email address to receive that out of stock notification, if anything. Again, just a really subtle way of just making sure that you are targeting those customers, keeping in touch with them at every point of that kind of customer's journey. The final tactic is seasonal and location-based experiences. E-commerce customers, if anything, their segmentation is really key to delivering the right product content at the right time. So just to give you a quick example of what I mean by that is your beauty customers in sunny California will be more inclined to shop sun-related products in December in comparison to New York, for example, who may look to like maybe looking at more kind of skincare related products that help with, like, say, for example, dry skin, or like chapped lips and things like that. So for this reason, it's really important that you target customers based on their physical location, um, and really enhance that customer experience based on that. Quick example here, so recommending products that are even location-based examples could be based on a specific product within a specific location. So in this example here, Pavers show products within an in-store availability, and this kind of data can be used to fuel product recommendations on the website within emails. Now, this is based on a store availability. Obviously, a lot of businesses don't have physical stores and they are online present. They are mainly predominantly online. So the example that I just shared, by switching banners up based on location, could be a better example for you if you don't have a physical kind of store location. Another example here by Lloyd's Pharmacy. I really love this little comment where it says the leaf bugs behind. A really lovely way to define weather and the time of year too. So here you can see content changes based on the different weather at that moment in time. So there, here comes the sun, cough or cold, winter bugs, and sneeze a day in this instance. So just to quickly round off, thank you so much for tuning in. We have a fantastic new beauty lookbook for you to download, which has plenty of useful tactics and brand examples included in there. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, I've left some details here. Please feel free to reach out to me via email if you have any questions about any of the content that I've covered today. So this concludes the discussion. Now I'm going to be joining Janice on the stage. Janice, thank you once again for joining us today. I guess really the next part of this segment is talking to you and closely about your brand and what's next in the beauty industry. So yeah, if I can start off with my first question, and that is, have you come across any customer experience challenges in the last 12 months?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. And yeah, I think you touched on it yourself, this idea of people who had traditionally bought in store suddenly being forced to shop online. And I think particularly for color products, that can be quite difficult. They're like, well, what color is going to suit me and what should I choose and those kind of things, which is why people have traditionally bought in store. So for us, we're trying to understand how do we overcome those issues. And particularly one of the things that we do is we have a 30-day guarantee. So you can try any product, and if you don't like it, you can return it to us and we'll either exchange it for something else or give you a full refund. And, try doing that in boots. So I tried this lipstick. It didn't suit me. Can I have my money back? It's like, no. So that is a core part of building trust. And you touched on that idea of building trust through community. That's been really important for us as well, creating a Facebook group with our customers to be able to talk to each other, not just about our products, but about their experiences. That particularly older women were very heavily hit by lockdown, that a lot of their kind of routine of seeing family or friends or volunteering suddenly disappeared overnight. So for us to create this community where they could come together really helped us build that relationship with them beyond a commercial one. And really, the piece where we've been working with Fresh Relevance is about making it really easy, that all e-commerce retailers should be making the process to buy something as friction-free and as instinctive as possible, but particularly because we have an audience who may have been hesitant to buy online, that becomes increasingly important. So for us, that was very much moving from a kind of one size fits all, stick everything on the homepage website, to much more individual experiences, understanding, as you touched on, different offers for different customers, different product recommendations. For example, if you're a first-time customer with us, you will probably buy makeup from us rather than skincare. But if you're an existing customer, particularly if you bought skincare from us before, you're much more likely to buy a skincare product. So the products we recommend to different customers on the homepage are different. And in particular, what was really important for us is, because our proposition is pretty much completely different from anything else out there, that most mainstream beauty brands and retailers are not catering for older women and their specific needs. It was really important for first-time visitors for us to be able to tell our founder, Trisha Cusden, her story and how she had developed this brand, particularly to meet her own needs, because she'd seen that this market was so underserved, and really tell that story. But for existing customers who known us for a long time, they know about Trisha, they know her story. They don't want that getting in the way of, actually, I want to go and look at product and those kind of things. So being able to serve those different experiences has been really key for us.
That's amazing. It's really nice how it's been based on the brand is based on an individual's experience, because that's the best way that you could ever do it, really. So that's really great. My next question is, what are your priorities for 2021 when it comes to optimizing the online experience?
Yeah, I think you definitely touched on two of the big ones in your presentation. That for us, content is our superpower. That it is what attracts people to us. It's not, we're not just trying to sell you products, we're trying to show you how to use them, and why should you use a primer, and why is that important as you get older, and all of those things, and really help our customers make the most of the products they've bought, but also show people who haven't bought from us why these particular products are valuable. So we have this really rich, great content, but traditionally we've just pushed it out through our own channels. So for us in the coming year, two big things that we're going to be doing is that post-purchase follow-up with tutorials for those specific products that you've just purchased. So you've just bought a lip primer. This is how you use it with your lipstick. You've just bought an eyeshadow. This is how to create a particular look, and all of those things. So really relevant tutorial content in that post-purchase, so that people really feel they're really getting the most out of the product that they've just bought, and that's going to make them feel more satisfied, so they're more likely to come back. And the other piece will be personalizing our homepage further to particularly based on the products that you've been looking at but you've not bought yet, that we can give you some tutorial content. You can understand better why you would buy a lip primer, for example, and also kind of collating that content, making it more accessible through a kind of hub, and helping customers find through search as well.
That's really amazing, because recently I interviewed a couple of our clients, and two of their key priorities were, or in fact, what I would expect them to be, they were very different. So obviously conversion is something that everybody looks at, but the second part was how to get that second time purchase as well. And that post-purchase journey really helps constitute towards the success of that. It's people want to come back for more because of that, that experience that you're providing customers. So that's really amazing. My next question would be around, do you have any tips for retailers looking to move existing business online?
Yeah, I think it's very easy for just everyone to say, "Oh, we should be online." But
Yeah.
why is online a better experience for your customers? Not why do you want to do that, but why should they want to shop online from you than in store? Do they save time? Do they save money? Does it anticipate their needs? And particularly, that's where personalization becomes really key, because you can provide a much more personalized experience, that it's almost going back to the early days of retail, where you used to go to a local shop, and that shopkeeper would know you, and they would know what you bought, and they would be able to anticipate what you were going to buy. And actually online is now better at providing that very personalized, very bespoke experience.
That's amazing. Thank you. My next question is, how do you think brands recreate feeling of human connection online?
Yeah, I think that is very much kind of the issue that we were faced with kind of a year
Yeah.
ago. Kind of actually, how do we make our customers feel that we are a brand that cares about them? Because we do genuinely. That we are a
Of course.
purpose-driven brand. That we are, yes, we sell makeup and skincare to older women, but we also care about how they're being represented in society, and how they're being treated, and all of those things. So for us, it's a combination of our community, creating a place where people feel that they can interact with other women who are facing the same challenges and joys as they are, and share those online. But also it's that storytelling, that if you don't know us, the thing that is going to convince you the most is understanding that Trisha faced the issues that you faced. That she found that the products that she'd been buying for years just didn't work for her skin as she got older, because they're designed for women in their 20s rather than being designed for women in their 60s. And just being able to explain not just why these products are different, but also the fact that it comes from Trisha and our founder because she thought this was important to change the beauty industry is vital for us.
That's amazing. Thank you. Are you planning to use any virtual makeup? Sorry, are you planning to use any virtual makeover tools to demonstrate your products remotely?
Yeah, this has been, again, a really interesting challenge for us in the last year. And we've really spent quite a long time thinking about particularly that color choice thing. So how do we help customers choose the right color? And we wondered for quite a long time, is AR the answer? And we talked to quite a lot of AR businesses about our challenge. And what was really interesting is a huge amount of respect for them. They were really honest about what AR is good and not so good for. And particularly, there were two issues. One was part of the reason certain colors suit us better than others is to do with the way they refract light onto our skin, and AR can't replicate that. And the other piece, particularly for our products, is so much of what we do is about how they work with your skin. So, for example, if you buy a blusher, then as you get older, if you use a powder blush, it's going to show up the wrinkles on your cheeks and make them look more pronounced. But if you use a cream blush, then older skin is very absorbent, so that color disappears into your skin very quickly, and you look at yourself in lunchtime and you're pale again. You might as well have not put it on. So our blusher is a cream to powder blush, so it goes on like a cream, so it doesn't show up your wrinkles, but it stays on your skin like a powder was, so it doesn't disappear. And just that's the sort of thing that we just struggle with AR because it can't get over that. It can't kind of communicate that benefit. So we went back to the drawing board and said, right, we want to create a delightful experience that helps customers choose the right color for them, and it leaves them confident that they've made the right choice, because that confidence is really important to conversion. So we developed a tool that asked customers various questions about particularly what colors suit them, what color jewelry suit them, what's in their wardrobe, those kind of things. And then from there, we're able to extrapolate, particularly if they wanted, something for an evening out versus something to go out to the supermarket in, you're going to look for a very different shade. So we asked them all of these questions. At the end, we gave them a recommendation, and that's a new tool we just launched in the past few weeks, and that's already really getting some great feedback from our customers about how useful those recommendations are. And the other piece that we are going to be trialing later this year is virtual appointments. That for us, the fact that our customers can talk to a real human being who is an older woman like themselves, who really understands their issue. They're not speaking to some, 18-year-old in a call center. They're talking to another woman who really understands their needs. So being able to offer virtual appointments, particularly for those people who potentially live more remotely, live outside the UK, all of those kind of things, that's going to be another route for us as well.
That's amazing. It's funny you mentioned that blend. I'd never considered it that way, and I've learned something new today as well. And if anything, we always encourage my grandma to wear a little bit of makeup whenever we're going out. She's like, "Oh, I don't want this. I don't want this." But now I think I'm going to invest in one for her. I think she'll be really excited about it too, because she always admires us when we're all putting all our makeup on and stuff. And yeah, that's really cool. Great. So my last question is, what would your advice be to brands who want to capture the attention of new online shoppers, such as the over 50s or 60s?
Yeah, I mean, I think the key thing, as it is with all customers, is to listen and understand and use data rather than assumptions. It's just so easy. I remember particularly, it was a very different audience. When I was at Birchbox, we did quite a lot of research into who was our potential customer. And that was really interesting that it came back and it said essentially we had two key target audiences. and we were serving them one of them really well, and she looked a lot like the women who worked in our office, that she was a young urban professional with a bit too much month at the end of her money. And this research helped us shift that assumption of, oh, my customer is like me, to actually this is what my customer is. And I think the key thing for older audiences is not just accurate representation, that we only ever use women in their 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s in our marketing, because that's really important for us. But it's not just representation, it's how you portray people, and particularly avoiding stereotypes. So if you think, you'll probably struggle to think about ads with older audiences in them, but when you think of them, how often are they portrayed as, frail and feeble and, kind of losing their marbles a bit, versus being shown as confident and empowered and strong, and those things that everyone aspires to be. So really kind of, it's not just, it's using data, but it's also thinking about how do you portray someone, how do you portray your audience accurately and in an aspirational way and not in a stereotypical way.
You've given me goosebumps. That's amazing. Like that women empowerment and that secondary message just behind that product, and the fact that that's come to the forefront. That's truly inspiring. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess that concludes our presentation today. So thank you so much, everyone that joined us. I'm sorry if we don't get around to answering everyone's questions. We can definitely follow up post our session. And if you have any additional kind of questions for us, please feel free to pop them in the, I think it should be on your right, or my right. So it should be on maybe your left. But yeah, if you could pop your questions in there, that'd be most wonderful. And Janice, thank you so much again for joining us today. You've really inspired me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye. Bye, guys.